Get comfortable. The meditation is about to start. If you enjoy this meditation, don't forget to click the like button below or subscribe for more free content. Start to bring your attention to your breath. See if you can observe, if you can notice the breath without controlling it. You might notice the feeling of the air passing by your nostrils or mouth as you inhale and exhale. Even perhaps noticing the coolness of the air as you inhale and the warmth of the air as you exhale. Or you might notice the rhythm of your breath today, paying attention to the rate at which your body rises and falls with each inhale and exhale. Or you might notice where your breath is stopping today, whether it's getting deep into the belly, collecting in the chest, or even stopping at the throat. As you pay attention to the breath, you may notice some tension, some attempt to control the breath. If so, hold some space to observe this urge as well. You can see if you can relax around the feeling, and if not, just allow yourself to observe what it is like to be with the breath in this way, watching your urge to control the breath itself. And then I'll invite you to try and take control of your breath for a few moments. Actively bring the breath as deep into the belly as you can, allowing the belly to expand as much as possible with each inhale, inflating it like a balloon. And then slowly extend your exhales, perhaps getting the exhale to be even twice as long as your inhale. If it helps, you can even count, inhaling deep into the belly for a count of 4, holding the breath in the belly for a count of 7, and exhaling for a count of 8. Take a few slow, deep belly breaths this way. Then release the breath and shift your attention to your body. Scan the body briefly and see if you notice any particularly strong sensations in the body. As you do this, see if you can distinguish between physical sensations and emotional sensations, noticing what each feels like in your body. And in your mind, see if you can perceive the perimeters of your body. Can your mind sense where your skin ends and where the boundaries of your body meet the space, the air around you? And then notice all of the space, the expanse that exists within your body, within this edge, this perimeter. You may still notice the breath, or those physical or emotional sensations, but also notice how much space also exists around them. Now, I'd like you to scan the body to see where you notice the feeling of loneliness. Observe how loneliness manifests in the body for you. Pay attention to where you sense the most feeling, the most sensation when you think of loneliness. And I invite you to place a hand over this space on your body where you feel loneliness the most strongly. And stay with the sensation for a few moments, just observing what it feels like. Holding space for the feeling of loneliness. If it feels strong, see if your mind can just get close to it rather than getting right into it. Notice that you have some choice about how deep into the feeling you get, almost containing the emotion in the space. And then silently to yourself, really draw your attention into the physical sensation of the emotion by labeling how it feels. Take mental note of its size, its shape. If it feels like it has any texture, warmth or coolness, any weight to it, any color. Just as a scientist might observe the feeling of loneliness as a specimen, trying to give labels, language to the experience of it, to your present moment, physical experience of loneliness right now. Staying with the sensation of it, rather than your idea of loneliness, your idea of the experience of it. Noticing that when you actually pay attention, when you hold space for the emotion, you're handling it. Taking note of any contrast between what you expect of the emotion and what's really present in the sensation of the emotion right now. Noticing if you ease or relax into it or around it at all. If you can find any peace despite the loneliness, around the loneliness. Now, with each inhale, I'll invite you to imagine drawing in pure, cleansing white light and send it to the space of loneliness. As you draw in this light, you can imagine the sensation of loneliness being enveloped, held by the light, softened by the light. Imagine this cleansing, healing white light working into the space of loneliness, starting to loosen and release it. And notice what happens to the sensation itself. Continue to draw in the white light as you inhale, but on each exhale, imagine also releasing some of the loneliness, the negative feeling, the pain as dark smoke. Each time you inhale, pulling in the healing white light, and then with whatever is released, allowing it to just leave the body as this dark smoke. Through your exhale, not harming anything, just evaporating away from you with each release. Breathe like this for a few moments. Inhaling the white light, exhaling the dark smoke, loneliness, negativity, and pain. Using your body, your breath to transform the feeling. Noticing how this feels. Then I'll invite you to release your attention from the breath and bring your awareness to the feeling of your clothing against your skin. Noticing what this touch, this connection between cloth and body feels like. Then pay attention to the clothing itself and consider for a few moments where those clothes came from. Perhaps considering all the different people involved in creating your clothing. Fabric comes from fibers that are grown in the earth. Someone harvested whatever crops, materials, minerals, chemicals were used to make those fibers. Someone spun the fiber to threads, yarn, and then wove those fibers into fabric. Someone designed what those clothes were going to look like. Someone chose the fabric, laid out the patterns they would use. Someone took those designs and sewed the clothing. Their hands spreading across the fabric, touching the threads, became part of the clothing. Someone packaged those articles of clothing and sent them somewhere to be sold. Someone drove that truck or boat or plane. Someone hung the clothes for purchase. Someone decided on their price. Someone built the store. Someone made the hanger. Someone designed, printed, made the labels, the signs that let you know how much it would cost. Someone picked up the clothing. Someone rang through the purchase. All those different people connected to the clothing that's on your body right now. Consider for a moment that through just one article of clothing, all the people that connect you through it, the inherent connection due to the inherent dependence we all have on one another. We are so connected, so involved in so many ways to one another's lives. It surrounds us, even though it's so easy to lose sight of it, so natural to lose sight of it. Bring your attention back to that realization that in each moment we are connected, even through our clothing. If you like, as you consider these people that were involved in the making of your clothing, take a moment to mentally acknowledge them and the connection you have with them by saying something to them silently in your mind. Then I'll invite you to open your eyes and look around the room. Scan the room and consider if there's anything in the room that's 100% yours, that had no relationship to anyone else. That you made, obtained, grew, that had nothing to do with anyone. Can you find anything? Then scan the room and allow your eyes to fall on any object that reminds you just how connected you are to others. Perhaps a gift from others, an artifact that reminds you of someone, something in the room that others may have been very involved in. Again, notice if any sense of connection arises as you do this. Then close your eyes. Start to allow your mind to expand beyond the room. Consider the various people who may be outside the room. Perhaps in another room, or a neighboring building, or on the road or street outside, or in the city or town that you are in. Allow yourself to imagine what these people may be up to, their goings on. And consider those people who you might not normally consider. People working in shops, waiting at a transit stop, in a nearby hospital, school, perhaps flying in a plane above you. Consider all the different people that exist around you, just outside this room. And notice what it's like to connect with their experience, to consider their lives. Consider the idea that every moment there is the opportunity to connect with others, even just in this way, acknowledging their presence, even quietly around you. You may seem to be alone, but you're not. Consider the idea that they're always there. There's always the potential for connection and relationship, just outside. Now, with compassion, I'd ask you to place a hand on your heart. Turn your attention inward to the relationship you have with yourself. And set an intention of now connecting with yourself, of listening to yourself. Just taking a pause from telling yourself how you should feel, what you would prefer to feel right now. And just listen to what's present for you right now, for better or for worse. Make that choice. And then I'll invite you to ask yourself the following. What do I need today in order to confront the loneliness I feel? Trust whatever response comes up and listen. Whatever response arose, put it aside for now and then ask yourself, what do I really need in order to do something about the loneliness I feel? And trust whatever comes up. Whatever response arose, put it aside and ask yourself, what do I really, really need in order to do something about this loneliness? And trust whatever comes up. Whatever arose, know that it is so natural, so human to feel lonely. We all want connection, but connection is also vulnerable and scary. You're not alone. It's normal to feel pain if it seems like others are missing from our lives or don't care. It doesn't mean you're bad. It doesn't mean you're unworthy. It doesn't mean anything is wrong with you. Loneliness simply signals us to search out new potential, new connection, to trust in our inherent worth, motivate us to reach out, to find people that are more and more in line with who we are. With that, silently repeat the following to yourself with compassion. May I be happy. May I be healthy and safe. May I love and accept myself just the way I am. May I find freedom from suffering. May I find the courage to connect and be vulnerable, especially when it's scary. May I be an example of peace. May I be happy. May I be healthy and safe. May I love and accept myself just the way I am. May I find freedom from suffering. May I find the courage to connect and be vulnerable, especially when it's scary. And may I be an example of peace. Finish this meditation by taking a few moments to reflect on what you now know. What did you learn through this meditative experience? You will hear 3 meditation bells. At the end of the 3rd bell, I invite you to open your eyes and come back to the room.